Welcome back to 705 Sports. In this section of the show, I like to try to bring someone in from the community so we can break down some local sports and what's going on here in Sault Ste. Marie. So today I'm joined by Jamie Henderson from the Sault Thunderbirds. How's it going today?
Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate you having me. It's going great.
I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I love to get people in from the community so we can really talk about what's going on here in the Sault. So since you are from the Thunderbirds, I would like to start off by talking about what are your expectations for this upcoming season?
First and foremost, it's just exciting to be, planning for a regular hockey season. I mean, obviously there'll be some differences still, but just for the players, first and foremost, they're just so excited to be back playing, and we'll be able to play regular hockey this year. And so, it's just really exciting. And there's been a different vibe at the rink this year. Last year, there was a lot of uncertainty and with everything that was going on. But hopefully all this stuff's close to being behind us, and soon we could just talk about hockey and not protocols and not this and that. But it's exciting to get started. League's done a great job in getting all the teams prepared and working with the health units. So yeah, when the league starts, we'll be ready to go.
And then when you talk about more of a regular hockey season, so I know a big question on people's minds, especially mine, was body checking.
Sure.
Are we going to see body checking back again this year?
Yeah, hockey's going to be back to normal. We had a great call last night, and the guys will be able to be fully in contact with the other guys, and there won't be penalties called for that anymore. So yeah, I mean, it'll be adjustment though, for sure. It'll be adjustment for the players who played in the league before, maybe who were rookies last year or even veterans, and then had a year without that. And then there'll be an adjustment for the players coming in for the first time with junior hockey, because it is a faster pace, but without playing contact last year in U18 or U16 hockey. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but we'll deal with that at practice, and we'll get the guys as ready as we can.
Well, I think it's important too to get back to playing contact in this game, because if they want to move up to those next levels, it is a full contact level, right? So if they're not playing the contact game at this level, it might be harder to make that jump. Although I guess it did leave more room for the speed of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, part of what we're doing here with this league and at this level is trying to prepare players for the next level. And so, obviously I think that was one of the reasons maybe the OHL didn't play last year was, not being able to have contact. I don't think that the premier development league for the NHL would probably, be too, would be great without having contact. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to prepare players for college and the OHL and other major junior leagues, whatever it is. And a big part of that, as you said, is contact and the physicality. And that's what makes our game so great. Is it is fast for sure. There's a ton of skill, but obviously the physicality is a big part of it.
Well, 100%. And when you mentioned talking about the development, so what are some type of skill sets or contact skills that you learn while playing in the Northern Junior Hockey League and with the Thunderbirds?
I think with the NOJHL, it gives young players a great opportunity to play at a higher level. There are some leagues that maybe have some older players that typically maybe are viewed in a different light than ours. But I know for the NOJHL to be a Northern Ontario league, kind of in a small area, there's been a ton of players move on to the OHL and to college and all that. So there's great coaches around the league. Everyone really takes their program seriously, and when you have people that care, right from the commissioner, Mr. Mazuka, on down to the leagues and the directors and the coaches. Every one of these players that arrives and plays and joins one of these teams is going to be well taken care of. They're going to get coached, and they're going to be prepared, to move on. And whether that's a year in the league, 2 years in the league, whatever it is, I know all the teams are committed to doing that.
Well, and I think that's awesome to hear too, because players need somewhere where they can get that proper development. And when you mentioned not just the OHL, so then do you guys help players try to figure out what avenue they want to take next after the Thunderbirds?
Sure, absolutely. Well, a big part of what we do is the education side of things too, right? And that's where we're fortunate here with Thunderbirds, is having two great institutions like Sault College and Algoma University, where they can be student athletes really. And we emphasize that as much as anything, the school part. If someone comes here, we want them to be enrolled in school. If it's a local younger player, finishing your high school here, to be able to finish your grade 12 year in the Sault and play junior hockey is a great bonus. For us, it's like why you don't need to move away in that grade 12 year. And then if you're going to graduate high school and then join us, then you also have those two great schools to attend while you're playing hockey. And then once they're, if their skill sets are good enough to move on, there's the NCAA opportunities. we've had, going back to my last couple times with the team, you know, we've had a lot of players move on to Canadian University. You know, there's lots of opportunities, and then locally Sault College is building a great program with Marky Bear and Coach Hall and that as well. So that's a great opportunity for our graduate players as well. So there's a lot of great opportunities. You know, all you have to do is go look at the rosters over the years of the Sault Thunderbirds, and there's been players move on to the OHL, to Division I, to Division III hockey in the NCAA, to Ontario universities out east, all over the place. You know, we're developing players, and you know, when you're recruiting players, it's great to be able to send them, you know, rosters of former teams, and you know, you could say, hey, check out this player, check out that player, and you know, they've been in your shoes, and this is where they've been able to go. So you know, that's exciting, and it's a real testament to the players for putting in the work, and the program of all the coaches over the years and management have really made that a priority.
Well, 100%. And I know I'm someone who isn't from Sault Ste. Marie originally. I moved here a couple years ago for this job specifically. And I've always heard that in Sault Ste. Marie, you have one of the top-notch junior hockey programs in the province.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think it starts with our grassroots here. Obviously, there's a lot of coaches and players who put a lot of time in. I mean, we live at the rinks in the summertime, and you see all these different you know, young players, really, they live at the rink in the summertime. Some of these kids are there 2-3 times a day. They're really committed, and they love it, right? And that's the thing. If you love it, it's one thing we stress all the time. If you love the game, and you know, it won't be work as much, you know, for them, and so they love to come. But ultimately, it starts with the parents. You know, they give these kids a great opportunity, and as they grow up in hockey, whether it's here or other places, and they end up playing for, you know, whether it's the U18 program and then the Sault Thunderbirds or the Greyhounds, or you know, whatever it is, or Blind River down the road, wherever the team is, it's just great that they keep playing, and that's one thing that we really, with the new ownership group and our management team, is we want kids to continue to play when they're done with the Thunderbirds. You know, that their last games aren't Thunderbird games, and you know, they can move on to college, play college hockey, or you know, other avenues.
And then just one final question I have before we take off, or you'll take off, I'll be back. But so for fans who want to come to the games, I know last year it was very limited on how many fans were able to come and watch. So how's that looking this year?
Sure. Well, it's great that the fans are going to be allowed. Obviously, there's local protocols that we'll have to follow, but you know, all the fans, all the players, first of all the staff are all double vaccinated. If there's one or two that aren't quite yet, they will be before the season begins. So that just allowed us to be as safe as we can, right? And ultimately, like we say a lot, you know, we all have families. You know, I have a wife and a son, and our coaching staff, they're married, they have kids, and you know, they go to work, and so we want to make sure everyone's in a safe environment. So those fans that are coming, you know, they will need to be double vaccinated and show proof of that at the door to attend. And I think that's probably going to be pretty commonplace with almost everything we do for the foreseeable future. And maybe next hockey season, we're not talking about this kind of stuff, but you know, it is what it is. You know, we're not, you know, we agree with the vaccination and the safety that it can provide, and we certainly encourage everyone out there to get theirs. You know, I know it's important in my family, and you know, we just want to make sure all of our players are safe, all of their families are safe, and you know, their grandparents are safe, those who maybe not as healthy, and ultimately, if we can do that as much as we can through the vaccination, then we're all for it. So. Well,
100%. I want to thank you very much for coming in. Remember, if you want to head out and check out some of your Sault Thunderbirds hockey, make sure to have that vaccination. Get ready to cheer them on. And I'll be right back. Dan's going to be back with me at the desk to finish off the rest of this episode of 705 Sports.